In this session, you will learn how to use AI to improve your Amazon creatives. We will talk about A+ content, images on A+ content, also the videos. And for that, we'll have a great experienced guest, Daniela Boltzmann from Mindful Goods. But before that, let me introduce our co-host, Lisette. Hi, Lisette.
Hi, Augustus. Happy to be here with you as always, and also excited about this session. But before we go to the session today, I wanted you to introduce us briefly, the sponsors of SellerFest Online, so we could all be here today and learn from.
Thank you, Lisette. So let me introduce the sponsors of this session. The first one is VAA Philippines, provides trained e-commerce virtual assistants for Amazon, Walmart, and other e-commerce sellers. Exit.io, it's a platform for Amazon FBA buyers, sellers, and investors. Ecomc, it's your global Amazon, Walmart, and TikTok growth expert. Optimal AI by Sellerplex is your Amazon advertising analyst. VATAi is an international compliance for e-commerce sellers. They provide VAT compliance, EPR services, and much more. MerchJar is your AI copilot for Amazon advertising. And last but not least, DataHawk. It's an enterprise-grade analytics for Amazon and Walmart sellers.
Thank you very much, Augustus, for the overview. And now, without further ado, Daniela, welcome to our channel. How are you doing?
I am doing super well.
Perfect. So, always on our channel, what we first do is we learn a little bit more about the speakers. So could you first introduce yourself and give us a short overview of your background?
Sure. My name is Daniela Boltzmann. I am the founder of mindfulgoods.co. We've been doing what we do for 8 years, and that is optimizing Amazon creatives for brands day in and day out. We've worked with over 500 brands and generated millions of dollars for those brands. So we are excited to be joining you at SellerFest once again. I think this is like a third, maybe fourth or fifth time, but this is my favorite online virtual event, and I'm excited to share the ways that we're using AI.
Perfect. Well, we're happy to have you here, and let's go straight into your session. You can open your slides so we could learn from you. And I just wanted to highlight a few things for the audience as well. So at SellerFest Online, you're able to ask questions from our speakers, so leave them to the chat. Daniela would be happy to help you out. And whenever you learn something new or enjoy this content, then also give a like to the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're not yet a follower. And now I think Daniela is ready for the presentation, and yeah, we can go.
All right, let's jump into it. So I was going to share the 3 ways that we're mostly using AI today, but as I started putting together this presentation, I said, you know what, let's just show the 5 ways that we're using AI, because I think there's some that some people can use and some that others can use, and I really wanted to bring my A game. The other thing you're going to see if you stay along the way is you're going to get lots of different bonuses that I typically don't share in presentations. I might share one in every presentation, but in this presentation, there's multiple bonus items, so you'll definitely want to stay until the end. So what we're better known for at Mindful Goods is creating insane growth for brands. Up to 2,500% growth is something that we see on a regular basis. To break that down, 50% of our clients are seeing anywhere from $5,000 to $120,000 in increased revenue. 60% of our clients see an increase of 20 to 1,000% increase within 30 days of uploading their content. And we do that with a very simple strategy. It's just data, great design, and split testing. Today, we're going to break down the ways that we're using AI within that exact process. This is my amazing team. And like I said, we've been doing this 8 years. I've worked with over 500 brands. We're an Amazon vetted service provider. And this is the type of content that we create. So it's very D2C style content for Amazon. So brands that have a more aesthetic look to them, brands that can do well on Instagram, brands that can do well on TikTok. We're very much in the business of helping those types of brands elevate their content for Amazon, because it is possible to bring that look to Amazon and to do extremely well when you do that. Amazon says we're some of the most gifted in the world at doing this, and our clients say that we're an ideas machine. And when I think about AI specifically, I think the big dilemma that everyone has right now is there's a million tools every single day. You're hearing about nano banana this and all these different tools that are popping up. And so we need to really stop and pause and say, like, what is a shiny object and what is moving the needle? And so this presentation is not going to show you all the different million tools that you can use. It's going to show you how to think through your process as it is today, how to improve that process with AI, and which types of tools I would recommend for doing that. So just to remind you, if you haven't seen this before, I've probably shared it in another presentation on Orange Klik's YouTube channel. So you can go and see this in another video, but this is our 5-step process top to bottom. So researching, design concepting, testing and iterating, fine-tuning the designs after we have that test data, and then validating it on Amazon. But what you'll notice is now that different AI tools are coming into the picture, there's not much that has really changed in terms of the tools that are on the right. So if you look here on this slide, on the right-hand side is all the tools in green that we use for each step of this process. Now I've highlighted in neon green here the tools that have started to infuse more bits of AI. So it's not that they're fundamentally changing, right? It's just that there's new features or new tools in the tool belt that are coming out. And so we have to learn those tools and see how they can help improve this process. So one of the ways, and the first way in which we think through how to use AI in this process is in the analysis stage. And this is, for me, like the nerdy side of things, but it's the part that I think a lot of brands don't do well. And it's kind of the secret sauce to what we do at Mindful Goods, because anybody can design, well, not everybody, but a lot of brands can get beautiful content, right? But it's when you take the data and merge it with the beautiful content that you see these increases in revenue and in conversion rates. So I always recommend taking as much data as possible in this analysis stage. And so these are the 6 things that you want AI to extract for you. If it's not AI, it's a human, but with AI, you can do this very efficient, very fast, and you can then serve this data to your designer. And that's the key differentiator. We want to get this data, really understand it, and be able to then translate it into design instructions. So what are the main keywords that are driving sales? What are the key pain points from our customers? What are the gaps in the keywords that maybe we're missing out on? What are the data-backed insights that maybe the brand has and maybe we don't have in our reports in Amazon? What is the psychographic profile of our customer? And what else can we extract from our customers in regards to our PDP? And so we do that with all of these different tools, right? So this is all of the different data that you can pull. You can pull from Data Dive, you can pull from Helium 10, you can run polls on Product Opinion, you can run polls on IntelliV. You can pull your Amazon reports. Like, you can extract so much data from all of these different places. One of my favorite places to grab data is from VAAI, pulling or scraping the reviews from not just your listings, but your competitors, and building those avatars. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to take all of that data, distill it down into these 6 points, and use that to build your image strategy. And so here's where the first bonus item is going to come in, because this is the part, this whole thing, pulling the data and understanding it and building it into your creative brief for your designer is one of the things that people pay us thousands of dollars to do, just that one step alone. We've created a free GPT for you here, where I'm going to leave this on the screen for a minute. You can screenshot this and scan it later. And what you're going to want to do is go back to that slide where I showed you all the different things you can pull. And I've highlighted some of the ones that are my favorite here. So I'm going to go back a slide. Your search query report, a niche dive inside of Data Dive, your ASIN or your website or both, your reviews, so a CSV of all the reviews from your listing and your competitors that you can scrape inside of VAAI, and then any queries that you want to go back and forth with on Rufus, both on your listing and your competitor's listing. Just take screenshots of all of that and then drop it into this custom GPT. And what you're going to end up with is something that looks like this. So you're going to have way more than this, but this is just a snapshot of one thing you will see. You'll see your avatars that are listed in here. You'll see a bunch of different data highlights, and then you'll see a breakdown of your creative brief. in the form of what your main headline should be, what it's suggesting for your subline, what are the badges and callouts we'd recommend on the imagery, and what ideally you should be showing as you're telling. So showing and telling is our formula that we like to use with our images. And you can see everything is broken down for you really simply. It's pulled exactly from your data. It's using language from your customers, from your ideal avatar. And so this is something that like cuts out all of that work that you were probably doing before. And it's a great way for you to just really quickly get it done, or at least have a good starting point, a good base. So that's the first bonus item. A second bonus item is that if you want to take this a step further, you can then use this prompt right here that says, highlight all the insights so that I can build a visual dashboard from the data. And that's inside of this GPT that I already gave you. Once it gives you this output, you can reply back and say, now give me all of the highlights or all of the insights so I can build a visual dashboard from the data. Then it's going to spit out all of the highlights in a text format, and you're going to copy and paste that into Lovable. This is the link to Lovable right here. And you're going to ask Lovable to create you a visual dashboard. It's going to look something like this on the right, but it's going to be from all of your customer data, your Amazon insights, everything that you've pulled and put into the GPT. It's going to spit it out in a way that you can now visually have this dashboard. And the reason why I love using this kind of a dashboard more than just, a text version of a document is because it's something that you and your team can go back to. You can easily reference references at any stage of the design process. So when you're trying to make decisions on should we do this image or this image, you can come back to your visual dashboard and easily be like, okay, the data is telling us that we need to focus on safety. 19% is a safety focus and 41% is a sleep impact. So let's make sure we focus on those two items. So let's remove this other item so we make room to focus on these two, right? So this is the way that you can now have a very clear place for everyone to come and be able to really guide the types of imagery that you're creating rather than just having a document that people just disregard. I find that oftentimes with our clients, if we give them too many spreadsheets and too many documents and too many things, there's too many things to look at and then nobody's paying attention to the things that matter. So this is extracting all the things that matter. It's putting it in one easy place so you can visually see what's going on. The second way that we're using AI is really fun, and that's with concepting. So there's 6 different things you want to think about when you're concepting. So we recommend always creating 2 to 5 unique concepts for main images. But you want to think through, for instance, with your A+ content or your product images, is there other ways that I can show the same thing, right? So if I'm showing me, a child playing with a toy, is there other ways that I can show a child playing with a toy or multiple children playing with a toy, or maybe in a different place they're playing with the toy or at a different angle? Like you want to think about the different ways that you can communicate that same bit of information. Maybe by showing it in a different way, it can be more effective. Number 3 here, multiple design styles. So maybe it's, different fonts, or maybe it's different, number 4, different color schemes. But you want to think through what are the different ways that we can organize our content and visually display it? And that can be with different design styles or different colors. It can also be with number 5 here, which is showing different models or different lifestyle options or different imagery, different scenes. So thinking through all of these bits is going to help you figure out different iterations that you can test. And so we call all of this concepting, right? Because you don't want to limit yourself to one. You want to ideate like crazy here. There's no bad idea. You're going to create 10 ideas. You're going to hate 7 of them. And then 3 of them are going to have really high potential and you're going to split test them. If you struggle with concepting or thinking through different ideas, use ChatGPT as your friend here and chat with it and put in some of your competitors' images and say, how can I do something similar but different? How can I do something similar but better? And see what it comes up with. And the reason why this is so important is because we do 250 split tests a year. 78% of our clients see success with split testing, meaning an increase in sales. And across the board, brands can see anywhere from 550% increase in orders with their main images, up to 1,080% increase in orders with their A+ content, or 990% increase in orders with their titles and bullets testing. So split testing is very core to what we do and what we preach at Mindful Goods. So It's just understanding that, yes, you can have beautiful content, but you should be split testing more and more things throughout the year. So that's something you want to think through as well. And this is an image I like to share to get your wheels spinning, right? Because you want to look at imagery that's in other categories and look at what people are doing in their images that make it stand out and pop and make it different. This is just main images, but you could do the same kind of analysis with product images. And that's something we do, right? Pull all the competitors, kind of see what everybody's doing, see what everybody's doing outside of your categories, and just get all of the wheels spinning. And so one thing that we did at Mindful Goods is we took all of our favorite and best performing main images, and we trained an AI tool to basically take all of these little things that we like to do in every single image. So we like to play around with shadows and angles and eye candy and packaging and close-ups and post edits and badges and all of these things you'll notice that you see on all of these different images. We now train our own AI tool so that we can just drop a product photo in and we get back a bunch of different options, right? So this is just one example of 5 different main image options. And so I'll just pause for a minute, but I want everybody to take a mental note in your mind and guess which image would be the winner here. And Lisette, maybe you want to take a guess. Like, what do you think the winning main image is if you're looking at these images?
That's a really good question. So let me have a look. There's 5, so I would already say there's plenty of them, but I would say B kind of stands out because the labels like made in US are a little bit on the left side of the product, and kind of like the blue color is popping up on the orange. So maybe that I feel C is a little bit too much, like everything is kind of falling over.
Yeah. So I was thinking, you know, if it came down to a split test, C and D are so like crazy and out there, they might win, right? Like that's where my head was at. A, I think is more of a safe choice. B obviously gets attention. I think that's a good one. I did not think that E would even stand a chance. But if we look at this poll here, you can see that E was the winner. And can you imagine if we had only stopped at 4? Like if we had just created 4 images and we didn't create E was 50% of the vote. And so this is a lesson that we should be creating more and more images. And even when we have a winning image like E, we want to create another winning image. So this was actually done with a competition between ourselves and a bunch of other agencies. I think there was like 5 or 10 agencies that were involved in creating main images for this brand as a test, as like a contest. And our image didn't win. Even though we tested all of these, our image didn't win. I think we tied for first place, but a different main image won when it was tested against their batch of images, right? So, and we have clients all the time that they'll come and they'll pay us to do the work, and they have paid 2 other agencies also to do the same work so that they can split test the different concepts. Like that's what 8-figure sellers and up are doing. Like they're testing lots of concepts.
They're not just listening their gut feeling, they're actually testing it out. And I think it's so great that today we have those tools available, which allow you basically within minutes already kind of get the initial feedback, which you can then take further to either come up with new versions or then just adjust them a little bit further. So that's really cool.
Yeah, and I'll give you another little pro tip that's coming out soon that we've been playing around with is that we've been using tools like Product Pinion and PickFu and IntelliV for years now. And we love those tools, and they're based on humans voting on these creatives, right? So it's the best way to get a pre-validation before you upload your content to Amazon and have it actually test on Amazon. It's a great way to understand if it's trending in the right direction to work or not, right? But it's not true validation. Now you're going to be able to have AI audiences built based on this same data that I just showed you that you're pulling from your reviews, and brands can pull from Reddit and different areas that you can scrape all this data on your exact customer, maybe from your email list or from your D2C website. You'll be able to build your own AI audience and do any kind of split testing you want. So I think that's something that's coming down the pipeline that people should have an eye on, because it's going to make this kind of testing so much easier and affordable to almost any brand. And so just to keep going on this idea of rapid concepting for design iteration, this was some main images that we created with ChatGPT. And I will say, like, the tool almost doesn't matter as long as you're doing it well and you're refining it at the end, you know, because there's some things that are not accurate on this image. And we just took it into Photoshop and kind of polished it up and fixed it. before it went live. So with every tool, you're going to get a little bit of pros and cons. It's just figuring out what's best for you. So I don't like to recommend specific tools for specific things in terms of the AI thing yet, because it's changing so fast with every iteration on all of these tools. But this one was done with ChatGPT. This was done with our own tool that we mentioned that we trained with our assets. So it's a third-party tool that they built a little, they train the AI for us based on our images. So now we can drop the image in and get multiple variants in just a couple of minutes. So you can see here on the left, there's 7 variations that the AI just spit out instantly because it knows we like all the callouts, we like all the movement on the screen, we like to see different elements of eye candy coming in. So you'll see all of that in each different one, but they're all slightly different. And so what this does is this gives us in 2 minutes a bunch of images. We can just kick back to our creative director and say, what do you think about these? And it helps us get the wheels spinning so much faster. And that's the same thing we did here with this brand on the right, where we put in 1 image, it gives us back 4, and we're able to quickly look at these and be like, oh, great, these are some good options, but what if we move the spoon over here? Or what if we, remove some of these ingredients? Or what if we, it just gives us a quicker jumping point so that we get more ideas spinning. So never limit yourself. The bonus item here is we're going to choose 5 brands to have some main images like this done with our tool. So if you go to manymainimages.com, you'll see exactly how we're doing the whole process. There's a little video there, and we're going to choose 5 brands to get their main images done with this tool. And there's more. There's more bonus items, so stay tuned. The third way that we're using AI, and this is the way that obviously I think most brands and agencies are using AI today, and you should be exploring this option. Some brands are not yet, but I think you should play around with it, is with lifestyle imagery. So this can be with brands that they don't have the time or budget to have a photo shoot, and they just need a few images to get going. This can be a really great way to get some images really quickly. We also have brands that come to us and they've already done a really expensive photo shoot, and they changed 1 or 2 things about their packaging or their product. And so you wouldn't necessarily want to go and spend thousands of dollars again to do another photo shoot. You might just want to use AI to tweak all of those images and get your new product in there. And obviously you can use Photoshop for that too. It's just a little bit more of a manual process. So with AI, you can get it done just a little bit quicker sometimes. And then the third option is when you find stock imagery that you really love and you're like, oh man, that dad and that kid are so cute. I wish they were holding my product. Well, now you can do that with AI. So that's a really great use case for using AI to maybe create supplemental images to help round out the images that you have. We have clients that come to us all the time where they have beautiful imagery from photo shoots, but we're missing the shot of maybe the kid at this other angle, or we're missing the close-up of the toothbrush, or the other thing that we need that's not in there. And now with AI, we can create that. So this is 3 really great use cases in one for creating AI imagery. And all of these images here are ones that we created with our team. So you can see product in every single shot. You can, like, for instance, this one here is a heating pad for the table. This one here is the apron and the hat that this child is wearing. This one here is a pickleball set. This one here is this pizza kit that the kid is playing with. This is a craft box where, kids can make crafts with their parents. And this is a dog toy. So all of these were made with AI, and they're just done exceptionally well. My pro tips for you here is, if you are going to do this, I recommend building a mood board from really high quality imagery. So one of my favorite sites that I like to use is called Stocksy. And I think the challenge that a lot of brands run into is they're using these free stock photography websites that all have the same basic generic images. Like, even if you're using Adobe stock imagery, it looks kind of plain Jane. It's not very interesting. Whereas if you're using really high quality curated stock photography, and you pick images that all kind of look like they're part of the same family group, you're going to be able to generate better AI results from the inputs that you're putting in. So everything with AI is about what you're feeding it. If you're feeding it better data, you're going to get better data back. If you're feeding it better imagery, you're going to get better imagery back. So just remember that it's all about what you're putting in. If you're giving AI really bad inputs, you're going to get bad outputs. So the next step I have here is to pick the images that you like for your mood board, drop them into an AI tool, ChatGPT is fine, and ask it to basically reverse engineer the image. So you're going to say something like, analyze this image and tell me how to prompt an AI tool to create something similar. And then it'll give you instructions. It'll analyze the image, tell you how, to describe that image. And then when you do, make sure that you use similar sets of directions to create all your imagery so that it has the same output, which I have outlined here in number 3. That's usually a dead giveaway. If you have images in your image stack and there's like 2 that don't look like they were done by the same photographer, it's going to look off. So you want to make sure that you're feeding it the same set of instructions so that all your images kind of match. If you have a base of some of your images, you can give the AI some of your images and say, make sure that when you're creating images, it matches to our original aesthetic that I've attached for you here in these images. Okay, the 4th way that we're using AI is something that was just shared at Amazon Accelerate. So I'm excited to share that with you here. There's an AI studio where you can get AI insights, retail insights from your PDP, from Rufus, from Advertising Console, from all of these different things. And you can basically use it to improve your imagery. You can use it to build video clips. You can use those video clips in your advertising or your PDP. This is just an example of how I was playing around with it. So this is one image that we created for a client. And if we watch this video here, all I did was prompt the AI to animate this image. And you can see here that it created this amazing animation of a kid eating this bar, which is awesome, right? Like, we didn't have to do a photo shoot. It's totally animated. Yes, you'll see some slight inconsistencies here and there, but we can easily use this clip and a series of other clips that we generate with an AI tool to build little video advertisements or little videos to have in our PDP and our storefront on Amazon. So this is a really fun use case and something that will probably save brands thousands of dollars, being able to make these clips. And this is something where they already paid us to do all of these images, and now they can easily in one click animate these images and use them for all different use cases. So I love tools like this that are coming out. I think this is a really smart use case that more brands will be playing around with in the future. If you want access to Amazon's AI Studio, this is the QR code to get on the wait list. So I will wait just 2 more seconds so you can grab that, but you can also pause the screen and take a screenshot of that. The 5th way that we're using AI, this is, I think, my favorite of all of them. And the reason why this is my favorite is because we have had so many brands come to us over the years that we've had to turn away because they have hundreds or thousands of SKUs and they really want to have beautiful imagery like what you see here on the screen. But we have a very small team. And if we were working on thousands of SKUs, we'd be working on them until the end of time. So brands don't have that amount of time, and it would require a substantial budget that most brands don't want to pay. So now with the help of these AI tools, we're able to train the AI on our master designs and instantly scale catalogs to dozens, hundreds, or even thousands of SKUs in a matter of minutes. So something that would have taken months can now take minutes with a little bit of fine tuning in this bulk type of AI process. And so you'll notice here, if you look at each one of these, that there's just slight differences. So some of them show the oh my gosh, what's this called? The little fryer thing. Some of them show the microwave. Some of them show the pan, depending on how you would cook it, right? That's something that the AI knows based on looking at your Amazon listing and seeing what we wrote about this product and how you would heat it up in the heating instructions. Well, it's automatically reading that and changing it out on each one of the listings. This one here, we don't want to have the same person in every single shot. So we'd want to show someone with chopsticks for the egg rolls, or someone with a fork for this one, or someone holding it in their hand, just different types of imagery that, again, can be generated by AI. Doesn't necessarily need to have been done with a photo shoot. Obviously, we want close-ups of all the different products in each of these images. That's something that the AI can easily replicate for us throughout all of these designs. And so just by explaining those few little points, you can see now how you can do this across thousands of SKUs and make each one feel just slightly different and slightly custom. So this is my favorite use case because this is something that we were never able to do before. Everything else that you've seen here, we were already doing, AI is just helping us do it better. This is something that we were turning away business because we just couldn't get there. We couldn't wrap our heads around how to do this. And now we're able to do this with the help of AI. So this is definitely one of my favorites. And then here's my final bonus item for everyone today is if you want some images to start training your own AI tools, this is what I would recommend using. We have curated our favorites across Amazon and our favorite across our clients in the form of a swipe file. So you can click here, get access to our Notion file, and it has loads of A+ examples, loads of product image examples, loads of main images, and you'll be able to grab them and have AI generate based off of best-in-class images that are already proven to convert. So highly recommend grabbing that. And I think that will wrap it up.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Daniela. Really great presentation as always. You always bring such a cool examples, I feel, and are inspiring people to, I should say it, not just make pretty creatives, but also creatives which are backed with data and actually work well to convert. Yes, you had a slide about questions. We do have a few questions for you. So let's get started straight away. So first question is about how to use this strategy you just shared with us for launching a new product.
For launching a new product, that's a really great question. So I would pull the competitor data. So in Data Dive, they have something called a niche dive, which means you can pull the competitors in your niche and extract as much data as possible. And honestly, that's kind of the 80-20 rule of like, it's going to get you 80% of the way there. Then the 20% you can refine over time. After you start running your advertising, you're going to learn some more insights about the keywords that are working for you. You can then pull those into your listing. And you can kind of do the 20% over time. That 80% you can get done immediately out the gate as you're launching. There's so much data at your disposal. You don't have to have launched your product to have all of this data.
Okay, very good. Then another question for you is, so you had one slide where I think it was 3 ways how to work with images in terms of like editing stock photos and some other things. So our viewer is asking what prompt did you use for that, or maybe you can somehow describe at least the direction of it.
Yeah. Okay. So I will say we cheat a little bit because we're an agency, right? So we have a specialized team that does all of our AI imagery for us. What we do is we're pulling, we follow that process that I showed you on the second screen, which is basically we pull the stock imagery that we're inspired by and we curate it for, similar to a swipe file, we curate it for that brand and say, if we were doing a photo shoot, these are the images that we need. It's kind of like a shot list that you would prepare for a photo shoot. So we'll pull all the stock imagery and say, we want something like this for this, we want something like this for this, we want something like this for this. And we would put a set of instructions next to each one, like has to be a woman, this ethnicity, at this angle, holding the product at, this close up or far away or whatever we're trying to show in this kind of scene. And we give all the instructions for that specific, for each specific image with a visual so they understand what we're trying to achieve. And then we use the AI to create that based on our instructions.
Okay, so you're staying effective.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
That's the thing that's tricky with AI. That's the thing everybody should know. It's not like it's one click and it's done. It's like it will give you an output and then you have to refine it from there. And then for us as an agency, we kind of get something we like and we still have to put it into the design and make sure that it works. We still have to show it to the client, make sure they like it. And if the client comes back and says, oh, I don't like that product photography that you guys did with AI, or like, can we change the model out? Now we have to go back and we have to start prompting again and try to get it as similar as possible but with a different model. And so these things, they take time, just like a photo shoot would take time. It's just a different form of taking time,
That's well said. Very good. So we have a few more questions for you, Daniela. So I think the next question is something that a lot of people are running into when they're using AI. So how do you make sure that ChatGPT or any other tool gets the text inside of the product image right? Because we have seen probably countless times when AI is generating a creative, but the text is awfully wrong.
That's a really great question, and I've seen it with almost every single tool. And something that that I do when I'm creating images, I don't put the text in there. So I will just create the lifestyle image separate from the text, and I'll do the text layovers myself in something else like Photoshop or in Canva. I just feel like you have more control in that aspect. Whereas like if you're having it do the text as well, you don't know if like sometimes the fonts are off, and yeah, so I'm a little bit picky with that, but for most brands, maybe they don't have to be as picky. They could still play around with that. It is tricky, and it is tricky. Some AI is still changing the product, which is frustrating too.
Okay, I see. Well, hopefully over time, as things are developing fast, we're also able to see some improvements in that. And one last question for you, Daniela, about Midjourney. So is it a good tool to make lifestyle images for the products?
I've heard great things about Midjourney. We don't use it ourselves, so I can't speak to it, but I have heard from different creators that they're using Midjourney, and it's gotten a lot better than what it used to be.
Okay, very good. So thank you so much for being here today with us. Before we let you go for the day, could you kind of summarize again, what are you doing? What is Mindful Goods, and how do you usually help Amazon sellers?
Yes, so at mindfulgoods.co, you can find me on LinkedIn. We help brands day in and day out to optimize their content for Amazon. We specialize in high quality creatives that are mostly for D2C style brands. And yeah, you can find us at mindfulgoods.co.
Cool. Well, thanks again. As I said, it was great to have you here. And thank you probably also from our viewers, and see you soon again.
Thanks for having me.
And now, before you will all go and wait for or look at our other session on Orange Klik YouTube channel, I wanted to say that during Sellerfest Online, all of the speakers of the event also prepared an advanced session, which is put together in the VIP package available to all of you. It's basically 20 advanced sessions, which are not live, not for free. You will get a lifetime access to them. And addition to the VIP sessions, what's really cool is that everybody purchasing the VIP package will also get some bonuses. And the first bonus is very great one. It's recordings from the European Seller Conference 2024. And the second bonus material is an exclusive masterclass by Brandon Young about product discovery, validation, and AI design challenge. It actually has, I think, over 30 different lessons inside, so it's definitely a big masterclass. So these two additional bonuses are, of course, in addition to the advanced sessions. And Daniela also recorded an advanced session for you about carousel to conversion, the brand story playbook. So basically, once you get the VIP package, you're gonna able to access these additional videos. I'm gonna just show you a tiny bit what's going on there. And you will find the link to the VIP package from the video description below. I hope you enjoyed this session. We're looking forward to have you on our channel back again. And now I would like to invite you to watch another video about how to design a premium A+ content.